In this video, we're going to talk about the sales process. So how exactly is it that we're going to take leads, strangers, right, that have never ever had any contact with us, never have had any interaction with us, to where they're actually a paying customer, and then we can actually use them to get us referrals. So let's go right ahead and walk through the different sales stages here that we're going to use for this particular course. So this is the sales process here. As you can see at the very top of the funnel up here, we have leads. In this course, we're going to go over different methods that we can use to build up our customer list. We're going to go over different websites, different platforms that we can use to build up our specific target market list. So once we have the leads, then we're going to put them into our cold email outreach. And we're also going to be using the two other methods in here in this course, which is the direct mail and cold calling. But the cold email is going to be the one with the least amount of resistance, because we can put together a list of several hundred of target companies and be able to email them fairly quickly. So we have the leads up here at the top, and then we have our outreach method. And so once they respond and we've gotten them interested in actually having a call, we're then going to schedule that discovery call and go over their problems, their pain points, their challenges, and see if there may be an opportunity for us to partner together. And then from that discovery call, you're going to then walk them through a presentation on the second call, and then you're going to have the close there, and then we're going to have a follow-up if that doesn't close on that second call there. Now, one of the most important things here that I've been able to use that really helps out with the discovery call and then the presentation is, after the discovery call has been done, we've built our credibility up, we've positioned ourselves as that credible, authoritative expert. Right after that, when we schedule our second call, what I typically do is I send over a virtual sales letter, so a VSL. And what that has in there is it's showing them essentially a case study, how we've been able to help XYZ company accomplish XYZ goal, and how we can, help you accomplish the same, right? Get the same kind of results. So by the time that the presentation call comes on, we've already positioned ourselves as that authoritative, credible expert. They've already seen that VSL that shows them the results that we've been able to achieve. And so they're really buttered up, they're really primed up for that presentation call because of what we did prior. And so on the presentation call, it's up to you to really showcase your product, your service, so that it really touches on the pain points, challenges that they may have, and then be able to close that deal. So that's essentially going to be here, the sales process for this particular course, and what I like to use really in any kind of sales methodology, because if you're trying to close somebody with one call, it's going to be very difficult when you're doing paid ads. Now, this is another thing here. When you're doing paid advertising, such as Facebook ads, such as Google, that's where you can have a one call close, okay? And I've done a lot of one call closes, but they are more difficult. And so what ends up happening is when somebody goes through a Facebook funnel, right, or like a Google Ads paid funnel, where they see a VSL, they have the ability to fill out an application to see if they qualify, right? Then there's that pre-framing and that positioning that's set up there, where you're making them apply to see if they qualify, and they're filling out all their information, their budget, all these different things that it's really going to help us use it to our advantage on that call. So that's the only time that I really recommend that you do a one call close, where you have paid advertising, you have a funnel, right? You have an ad, and then they're actually filling out a application, okay? And then they're actually booking that call, and then on that call, that's where you actually do the presentation and you close, right? But if you're doing any kind of cold outreach, I highly recommend that you always utilize a two-call system, where you have a discovery call to learn more about the business, the pain points, the challenges, and then a presentation to show them how the product or service, right, works for them and how they can reap the benefits from your product or service. So that's going to be it here for this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.